Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I have a few quick reminders. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps us spread the word, allowing us to continue to grow this community. Next, I'd like to introduce our Patreon group, where we have 3 weekly meetings. On Sundays, we have a meditation meeting. On Tuesdays, we have book club meeting. And on Thursdays, we have open topic discussions. These meetings take place at 6 p.m. CEST, so Amsterdam, Paris time. For my next announcement, I'd also like to introduce the Reparenting Daily journal, which you can find on Amazon. This journal follows along with the podcast, so each weekly and monthly themes are reflected in the journal. It provides space for you to keep your notes with plenty of extra resources on each topic to be discussed. It's an excellent tool, and if you purchase it, you can join our weekly meetings for free. Just send me an email and we'll get you linked in. For the last announcement, I'd like to introduce one of my most meaningful creative projects, a 3-volume series entitled Fairy Tales for Reparenting. Now, you might be wondering, why fairy tales? Aren't those just for kids? But through my personal healing journey and in studying the work of Carl Jung, Marie-Louise von Franz, and other spiritual and psychological traditions, I've come to see fairy tales as powerful symbolic maps for transformation. They carry deep, timeless wisdom, especially for those of us doing the hard work of reparenting ourselves. The series follows the structure of the hero's journey. Volume 1 explores the wounded child, stories of loss, betrayal, and innocence. Volume 3 is about the trials of endurance, cunning, and self-discovery. And Volume 3 is the return, stories of transformation, power, and wholeness. Each story is followed by journal prompts and space to reflect on how each story connects to your own inner healing journey. These are not just tales, they're tools. They're an invitation to connect with the part of you that still believes in magic and possibility and healing. You'll find both familiar classic and lesser-known stories from cultures around the world, offering you fresh insights and inspiration on your path. All 3 volumes are now available on Amazon. Your support means so much to me, not just for this project, but for the larger mission of helping myself and others reconnect inwardly. Reparenting is like nurturing a bonsai tree. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but with care, patience, and consistency, it will transform you. Thanks so much for being here and for supporting this work, and also for committing on your personal journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is from Good Health Psychology. The article is entitled Healing Childhood Trauma, a Guide to Emotional Recovery and Growth. I'm going to be skipping the beginning part of the article, and we'll be starting off from the section Healing from Childhood Trauma Without Therapy. Just as a reminder, we're in August, and the theme for this month is Healing the Inner Child. We're in week 3, which is August 15th until the 21st, and the theme for this week is Healing Childhood Wounds. Healing from Childhood Trauma Without Therapy. Figuring out how to heal childhood trauma may not include trauma-focused therapy. Instead, it might include working through issues yourself. This can extend to utilizing self-help strategies and techniques at home to not only process your trauma in a healthy way, but control the impact it has on the rest of your life and your emotions moving forward. In order to understand its impact on you, you have to understand how memory works. The adage that time heals all things has some foundation in science, but when it comes to the way in which memories function. Aaron experienced severe trauma in childhood when he watched his stepfather come home drunk and start abusing his mother. He realized this when he began to reflect on his life during his 20s. He remembered that his mother picked him up and they ran to the door to try and escape. But he watched his stepfather continue to punch his mother in the stomach until she dropped Aaron. His mother picked him back up, and while his stepfather was distracted, reaching for a gun, he and his mother ran out of the back door, jumping over the fence and racing to a payphone where they could call for help. Aaron passed out and remembers waking up in the hospital with a toy race car in his hospital bed. Now consider this. When the police come to talk to Aaron about what he had experienced and what he saw, Aaron had just had a piece of chocolate cake that a nurse had given him, and he was playing with his new race car. He was very upset as he recalled the details of what his stepfather had done. The next time Aaron was asked if he remembered anything by some of his family members, he wasn't actually remembering the initial traumatic event. Instead, he remembered the last name he recalled the memory. The last time he recalled the memory, which was when he was sitting in the hospital eating a piece of chocolate cake and playing with his toy car. A few years later, Aaron was discussing something for a research paper in school. He was reminded of the event as the paper had to do with domestic abuse. It triggered the memory, but when Aaron remembered what had transpired, he was not actually recalling the initial event, but rather the time when he was sitting with his family thinking about the event. It's very important to understand the way in which this works, a phenomenon discovered thanks to Alzheimer's research. When you recall something, you do not recall the original memory. You recall the last time you recalled that memory, and with it, all of the emotions, good or bad, from the last recall. This means that you have the power to modify the feelings and intensity of those feelings surrounding certain events, because if you recall them while you're happy, or you are doing something you love, or while your body is full of endorphins, like from things exercise, you can change the severity of emotions surrounding that memory so that they are less painful or traumatic, and this makes it easier to process. This reading connects deeply with the August theme of healing childhood wounds by reminding us that trauma isn't just about the past. It lives in the way our memories are recalled in the present. Each time we revisit a painful memory, we are not touching the raw event itself, but the last time we remembered it, with all the emotions that were attached. This gives us a challenge and an opportunity. Our wounds can keep reopening, but we also have the power to soften and reshape the emotional charge through how we recall them. Healing does not always have to come from external therapy. It can also come from learning to hold memories in a new context of safety, joy, and self-compassion. In line with this week's theme, healing childhood wounds, this perspective offers us a powerful tool for reparenting ourselves. By intentionally surrounding the recall of painful memories with nurturing activities like being outdoors, journaling after meditation, or recalling them while we feel supported, we allow the inner child to experience those same memories differently, instead of staying trapped in terror, shame, or despair. We are teaching the child within us that safety, love, and strength are now present. This is the heart of reparenting, not erasing the past, but rewriting how our body and spirit carry it going forward. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, when you recall one of your most painful childhood memories, what emotions or sensations usually come with that? And number 2, how might you intentionally revisit that memory in a safe, positive context? For example, while journaling after exercise, prayer, or listening to music you love. And number 3, if you could sit with your younger self during that memory, what comforting words or actions would you want them to offer now? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.